All right. Hello, everybody. Here we go. Week 20. Seriously, can't believe that I've been doing this for this long. It's still just me. But I'm loving it. It's interesting because, there are sometimes, honestly, when I have to say it, I do look at other food and, it's just like, oh, this stuff just looks good. But most of the time, I think back on, what I've been through over the last, 20 weeks, and it's like what 140 something days, and I don't miss it. I mean, honestly, I do not miss it at all. So I'm feeling really good. So then I think I'm the only other person on right now because I've got the video going on my other screen. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and just get started. And if nobody else really does show up, I may just make this kind of short, but that's okay. So I'm at 382 this morning. By the looks of it, I guess I went up over maybe the last week or so. So that's 173.27, supposed to be just 27 kilograms. Sorry. So let me see if I can update that because I think I added one too many or kept one too many numbers there. There we go. Okay. So honestly, I mean, it's really it's not bad. It's not. I mean, it's probably just water, and over the last week, I found myself eating what do you call it, like jerky, the stuff that you buy in the store. It could very well be that my I'm just retaining some water, so that's okay. Life goes on. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm still feeling really good. I mean, my blood sugar numbers have been down. There have been a few days where it sort of crested over um, into the 105, 110. But still, I mean, the fact that it's not in the 180s, 190s like it was before. So I'm not gonna complain at all. Um, as far as walking, I'm actually doing the 2.8 now, so I'm doing the full, like, all the way around my block. Um, after the 5K race from last weekend, I just decided that I'm just gonna do the long walk because I mean I already know, I've already told myself that that I can do it. So I'm just gonna keep going. And the nice thing is the way that I'm doing it, there's one big hill sort of right in the beginning, so I'm getting that out of the way. Um, it's a huge dip and then comes back up. So I'm just doing that first because I'd rather do it that way than have to do it near the end because that just kind of gets tiring. Um, Especially because once if I go the other way where it's near the end, as it comes up, the road kind of curves up and around. So trying to keep up with that slant, as I'm walking, is like that hurts after a while. So that's okay. So just doing it right in the beginning, I think works even better for me. Um, yeah. So the 5K race, I put out the video earlier this last week on Tuesday, and I had a really good time. I really did. At first when it was funny because when I got to the school, I had, because I drive by that school when I drop off my nephew to karate, but so I've never been on the other side of the, front facing part of the school, so I had no idea what was back there. And so I pull in, I'm driving around in the parking lot, and I don't see anybody. So I'm like wondering, am I in the right place? I had no idea. Um, and so I decided, well, I'm gonna go see if I can drive um, into the back area, because I found a road that went back there. So I went driving in, and sure enough, they had the finish line already set up, and or it was, well, starting line and finish line, but they both said finish on both sides, so go figure. Um, but oh, thank you. I'm doing great. Yeah, I really am trying. I'm feeling really good, and I'm really I'm loving how it's going. I really am. And just again, the surprise that I was actually able to do the whole race was, to me, was astounding, especially with the way that the hills were. There was a couple of pieces of footage um that I didn't put in. Mostly it was just walking, but there was a couple times where I was just kind of, honestly, I was just kind of griping. It's like, oh, maybe I should just quit. Maybe I should just stop. And even honestly, even as I was going, there was a lot of times where I'm just thinking to myself, I just want to stop, because my sister-in-law was there, and I knew I could probably call her and have her come pick me up. But then, I think common sense, and I think my wanting to finish this thing, even though I had no idea how far in I was, but I was like, no, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to go for it. And when I finally started seeing, when I finally started getting out of the neighborhoods that I was in and got back to the main road, um, hi Marcia, hey, how are you? And and when I finally got back there, I was like, okay, that's this is a really good sign. So right there at the end, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna cross the road here and just finish it off. I honestly didn't care how close the cars were to me. It was right there at the end as these cars were just flying right by me. But at that point, I was like, I don't care. I want to get this over with. I just want to be done. So thank you very much. Yeah, I was actually kind of happy with the way it turned out. With all the different footage, I didn't realize that. I was kind of hoping that as I was walking with the gimbal, that it would kind of steady some of it. But I think because maybe the camera, because the software that's on there doesn't have like steadying, like a steady shot kind of thing. I was using another program that I from what I normally use. So because I just wanted to use the buttons on the gimbal itself. So I realized that as I was walking, you would see this, but that's okay. Um, but I got through it. It was great. Um, and then when I finally started going back down that final hill, getting to the school, I was like, well, I wish I could run, but I'm so tired. There's no way. So I just kept walking, and when I came around that final curve, and it was funny because I saw what looked like all the people that were in the race were still standing there, and they were actually clapping for everybody that crossed the finish line. So that was really cool. Even though I still had the camera uh, panned to one side because I wanted to catch the time as I was crossing the finish line. I'm actually kind of glad I did because, again, for some reason, I don't know what happened, but the bib that I had, um, it didn't register. They had the bib number, in their system, and but for some reason, it didn't register when I crossed the starting slash finish line at all. So I'm glad I recorded the time, because then that way at least I had what I'm calling my official time. So and it probably took me um 20 seconds maybe to walk across the starting line, just because all the runners were up front, so I just wanted to wait for them to go, and then I went. So thank you very much. Yeah, I was just talking about the race, and I was just saying that I really enjoyed the whole experience. I really did. And honestly, I will do it again. It was I mean, it was difficult, and I think mostly just the difficult part was the hills, because there were so many of them, and it just kind of felt like I hadn't. By the time I got through one, it was like, here comes another one. It's like I didn't really feel like I had caught my breath. And then, going down the hills was okay, but then going back up was like, so, but I'm just going to keep going. Hi, Sandra. Good afternoon. And, but yeah, I'm, I'm, I'm honestly looking forward to doing another one. And I'm pretty sure that there are a few. My understanding, there's usually a few near the end of the year around here because it may get cold, but if it snows here, it maybe does it once, maybe twice in a winter season. And at least the nice thing with the South here is we really do seem to get 4 seasons, and we'll hit. We're rolling into autumn now, and there are some leaves out there that are starting to fall, and pretty soon a lot of the trees will start turning, so that'll be cool. And but I'm honestly, I'm thinking about wanting to do it again, and I think keeping up with um the walking, doing the 2.8. I think if I do decide to do another one, there is another place where I know I can go and add another point 0.3 miles. So I think if I find another race, I'll start adding that and making sure that I'm getting the full 3.1 experience with a few hills, nothing like what I did the other day. So as far as the jobs that I've had over the last few weeks, it seems like um I finally resigned from the restaurant. Kind of glad because man, I didn't want to keep smelling that food. It was hard. But and I still have the airport job, the shuttle driver. Um, Tomorrow night is my last night, so I've already told the manager that this will be my last weekend, and so I'm headed there tonight. I'm leaving. Let's see, what is it's a little after 10, so I'm leaving in a couple hours. The shift starts at 2:30. So I'll do that tonight and tomorrow, and then that'll be it. And then I'll have my weekends back. So I started the full time job with Microsoft this week. So again, I am a contractor with Microsoft, and it took a few days to finally get all of my credentials and everything set up so that I can start accessing all the tools that I need. But I'll be starting that. I mean, like really going in earnest this week, this coming week. So this is going to be great. And even if the job only is about 6 months, um, I'm just gonna get the most out of it. I'm just gonna do everything I can. They have meetings, sort of every other day, and this will give me a chance to ask questions and just really jump in and get going with what I need to learn, what I need to do, and yeah, um, I really am looking forward to it. So um, let's see. And I don't think I really had anything else at this point. So how is everybody? So I've got 9 people, including myself, because again I am in here. I guess I can actually just get rid of this. I just wanted to mute myself as I was going. So what is everybody up to? Does anybody have any questions? Also, I wanted to, and I'm just going to pull this up as I'm going. Um, if you folks haven't, if you're interested in joining, I do have this Discord server that I've got. I've actually see if I can set this so the invite never expires. If you're interested, certainly go ahead and join. So the way it's designed is, it is a chat room, but it's chat that will always stay there, and you don't have to go, looking back through um, old videos in the comment section, and try to respond to different things, different people. I really did design it. Well, I didn't design. I mean, I really did create it so that people could, go in and tell their story, because I really think that that is. I still really do think that is important. And when you go in there, it is going to ask you to create an account. But once you jump in there, then I've got one place just for general. It's just for general conversation. I've got one area for recipes, and then I've got another area that's set up just for that's just for your story. So if you have a your carnivore story that you want to tell, simply just jump in there and go ahead and just type it up, and we can get conversations kind of going back and forth. And and again too, folks, if you want to be if you want to come on here and talk to me about your story, please feel free to hit me up in the email. And it's still lawndwar01 at gmail.com, and it's in the about section. So feel free to email me, and we'll set something up. I know that right now, that with me doing the job during the week, during the day, I'll have my weekend, I'll have my weeknights free, and I also have my weekends, or at least my Saturdays free, um after this weekend. So I certainly have time to sit down and record, and then I'll just upload it. Either I'll either do it on a Saturday morning like this, or I'll do it on a I'll release it on a Wednesday. And so far what I've done is I just I'll hit record. And what we usually do is, with the person that I'm talking with, we'll talk ahead of time in the StreamYard. And then where we're getting ready to go, then I'll just hit record. And if we're still talking, then I'll just wait until a point where I feel like, okay, let's go ahead and start. And then I'll just edit out all the stuff that's said beforehand, and then I'll just cut off after, right at the end, after we're done. And unless like the other day, I was filming, I think, with Chelsea's Adventures, who's in the chat room right now. um I had to get up to go check on my nephew. And so the recording actually just kept going, but what I did was I just went and cut in the parts where I got up, and then came back. And I mean, all you see is just a little um in the edit, in the videos you're watching. But otherwise, anything that's weird just gets edited out. But just so far, I mean, I haven't I think, aside from having to do that, I think a total of twice, it works out. So anyway, yeah. Um so does anybody have any questions or anything? So I was talking about the yeah, it really did. And then oh, the other thing too is, I'll actually also send you. I also will upload it to my OneDrive storage, and then I'll send you a link. So if you have a YouTube page, if you want to post, the interview on your own page, then I can send that to you as well. And that way, and that's what I've done so far with a couple people, is I released it at a certain time, and then they'll just turn around and release theirs. The only thing that I do is I send them just the interview part. Usually, what I'll do is I'll go and film something ahead of time, and put that at the beginning. So that first part that I won't send them that, because that's just me introducing the video. So, but I think we can say bye bye to that. Bye bye. There we go. Okay. All right. So oh geez, we're only at about 20 minutes in. Okay. Um yeah, yeah, the 5K, I really did. I was really amazed at I mean, they did really well too with getting everything set up and everything. As far as I know, I mean, there was people there even before I got there, and they were getting the big inflatable thing set up with all the wiring, and they started checking people in. It was supposed to start at 8, but you know how most people are. A lot of times, people tend to show up like really late. So I think it finally got started at I think like 8:20 or something like that. It was like 20 or 15, 20 minutes late. So, but yeah, but once they got going, then um, then people really started showing up, and then everybody was all lined up. They made their announcement, and then they just got going. Florida? No, I'm actually in North Carolina. I'm about 60 miles west of Charlotte, and so that helps. If I ever need to, go back into the Microsoft office, I can go in there because they have an office there. Um, and So going, but having to go into the office and having to go to the airport is still kind of long because it's about an hour's drive each way. So it's usually 60 miles each way. So I'm kind of glad that the airport job's coming to an end after tomorrow night because I just don't really want to have to keep making that long drive. Um, so Lord, yeah, yeah. I I I I may have mentioned Florida. Maybe I'm not sure. I know I had mentioned I was thinking about maybe going there. When I finally get below 300, and I decide to get onto a plane. I was thinking about just going somewhere where I could just be on a plane for maybe an hour. You know, you also, let's see, like Atlanta. I mean, it's not that far, but Atlanta, I mean, it's actually that's probably about, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 minutes because that's a really short flight. Um, but or maybe go somewhere where because I was thinking if I went to, like, maybe I went to Florida, maybe I could go on a cruise or something like that. I mean, maybe not right away, maybe sometime next year or something like that. But maybe even go to Orlando or something like that. Maybe go to a theme park, Universal, or maybe even Disney. But it I think I it just I think it just kind of depends on where things go with the job, because again, the idea was they had said it might be 6 months. So, hey, if it goes longer, that's great. But at this point, I'm just focusing on the idea that it's only gonna be 6 months. And so I'm just gonna get everything I can. I'm gonna try and get everything I can paid off. And will you be doing a cruise at the Browns? I had heard about a cruise with them, but I don't know. I don't know if that's something that I could afford to do at this point, because right now, because unfortunately, bills have kind of gotten kind of out of hand, especially with trying to get this job lined up and going. I've got a lot of bills. Luckily, like power, internet, and stuff like that in my car right now. I'm able to pay, but I've got my budget all written out. But I have a few medical bills and a couple of um, credit card bills that I have to get under control before I can start thinking about really doing anything. The idea of the flight, it honestly, because I mean, I was even thinking about like trying to find like a day of flight, because sometimes like with Spirit Airlines or sometimes Southwest. It was funny how Southwest is out in the southeast, but whatever. Um, Actually, I don't know, the Southwest really comes out here. No, I'm thinking Spirit and like American Eagle and some of these other small ones. Um, yeah, I was thinking about just like getting on a plane like that day and like finding a plane ride would only be like, maybe 60 $60 one way, and just get on a plane and go, and then get to the end, and then just turn around and come back. So, because again, mostly it's just about getting on the it's mostly just getting on the plane and being able to sit hopefully in the seat and not have to get a seatbelt extender and not have to pay for extra seat and not be flopping over into the person next to me. That's what I'm looking forward to, and so we'll see how that goes. But Yeah, yeah. What's interesting is I decided last night I wanted to look and see if there were like any um like conventions or anything like that that has to do with carnivore, and I saw that looks like there was one that was just completely virtual. Well, it said it was virtual, but I have a feeling I mean it's already over, and I have a feeling that they probably had people show up. But that's one thing that I've noticed, that over the last several months that I've been doing this, that there doesn't seem to be a lot of people talking about and wanting to get together in what I would think are very large droves of people to get together and talk about stuff like this. And I mean, the one that I was looking at had a bunch of guest speakers, and I think it was like $98 to be able to watch all the videos. But I don't know, to me it's not the same as actually being there. And I have no idea. I just decided to look at it look at it last night, so I honestly have no idea if that's something that's normally done. But I would love to see, like, maybe like one or two like really large ones a year, maybe you know um maybe one in the Midwest, maybe one on the West Coast, maybe even one on the East Coast. I don't know, but somewhere where people could come together, and they wouldn't have to travel too terribly far, or too long on a plane or something like that, and just all just be together for a couple days and listen to some different speakers and listen to the things that they want to discuss. And I don't know, I think it'd be great. So if you folks know of one that's going on, please let me know, and let's start talking about those, because let me see if I can. Of course, my keyboard is doing stupid things. Yeah, there was a carnivore summit. Let's see if I can share this out here. And then I think this Boulder carnivore conference, I think that was the one. Oh, that was a couple of years ago. Okay, never mind. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So this was the one that I was looking at last night, and I don't know. I thought this was interesting because the whole thing was virtual, and I have no problems with things being virtual. But I mean, we're hopefully now that that pandemic that shall not be named is pretty much over. Hopefully everybody will want to get together again, and just kind of go through some of stuff like this. I mean, look at the, because I can go down here. I remember it talked about. Sorry, I know I'm scrolling through this, But I mean, this had like a ton of people. I mean, a lot of them I don't really know, but I mean, some of these names I do recognize. And again, these were all virtual discussions. So chances are, a lot of these people may have just done this from home. But I mean, geez, imagine being able to bring all these people together. I mean, that would be awesome. I mean, yes, I realize it would be really expensive to do, but I mean, let's just go for it, folks. If we can do this, let's just do it. Let's see. And this was talking about different low carb events. Anyway, I don't know. I thought it'd be interesting to look into, but I guess the thing is there would just have to be a really big. Um, I think people would really want to do it. There would have to be a lot of people asking for something like that. Not only a convention, but wanting to do it in person. Because virtually doing it through chat is one thing, but I mean, we're all human beings, and just the idea of being in front of somebody and being able to actually talk with someone, and is that would be great. And not only here in the states, but certainly, I mean, let's try to do some in other countries too. And I mean, I don't know, I think that would be a lot of fun. I mean, especially if there was going to be one, maybe somewhere over in Europe, I would certainly go for that. Especially if it was going to be a few days, I would find a way to get over there and do that. So I have to get my passport though, but that's okay. Okay. So does anybody have any other any questions or anything? Because I'm kind of running out of steam here. I'm not sure what else to talk about. I mean, I don't have to, obviously, this doesn't have to be an hour long or an hour and a half. I know I've done some of those before, but mostly this today was just about wanting to update everybody on where things were and how things were doing, and just kind of just get back in front of the camera for a few minutes. But even though my weight kind of went up a couple of pounds again, I'm not gonna flip out over that, because I know that it goes up and down all the time. And I think um I'm only gonna be weighing once a month. I think I'm just gonna go with the idea of looking at measurements and seeing how things are progressing that way. Because the scale is my enemy. It is the one thing that always tells the truth, unfortunately, and I hate it. So, but all right, well, if nobody has any other questions or anything that they wanted to bring up, I will just say thank you, everybody, for joining. And I'm going to see if I should have a video coming up on Wednesday that I will put together. It'll probably have to be filmed in the evenings, because that's about the only point I'm going to have time. But yeah, thanks, everybody. Thank you for joining. Have a great rest of your day or evening, or wherever you're at. And I will see you all on the next video. Should be on Wednesday. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.